Hey everyone, welcome back to D&G Ministries.
Where's the energy, Dylan? Come on.
It's the last video. It's an emotional one. This is hard because there's so much to say, but we only have this one video left to express everything.
That's why it's an hour long. I'm just kidding.
No, unless you want to edit all that.
No.
Okay, so this was actually Gabby's idea, the video title, and everything. And technically, this isn't our last video because the one's already scheduled for Friday, but we're filming this.
This is the last one that we're filming.
Yes.
Because we already filmed our last video.
And so what was your question?
So, a couple days ago, I was pondering on a video idea. Because again, guys, as I've said in the past, it's not really my thing to come up with video ideas. So I believe it was the Lord. But I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, we've made a lot of videos about this journey, about our marriage, about this pregnancy coming. And something that had came to me was the thought that this is the last time ever that Dylan and I are going to be
alone
by ourselves. Like, obviously, that doesn't mean with friends and family, but, like, us.
Yeah, as a family.
All this, like, our marriage, like, it'll
There's
never
going to be a
us.
third person right here soon.
Well, I mean, we have the Lord, so the Lord's in the middle.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So
my question with that is, how does that make you feel? What are the thoughts that come to your mind when you think that?
So instantly, I'm just going to expose myself on camera, raw right now, okay?
Oh, I'm excited.
Don't cut any of it out. So I'm just going to be completely honest with you. There's a lot of excitement throughout this whole journey. I'm so excited to have a daughter. But many of you who know this, and maybe there's new viewers watching who don't know this, but we live in community with another family, like a discipleship house, and they have a lot of kids. And so one thing that I've struggled with a lot of my life is really being able to connect with kids, because obviously, well,
That's funny, because you connect with them really well.
she thinks that when kids want to play outside and stuff, and then it really makes her flush the eye, to be honest. At least me, because I just struggled to bond with kids. They have such wild imaginations, and
Dylan's not a very patient person.
And so I guess what I'm trying to go into is it's going to be a lot of time that's consumed. But see, here's where I'm going. It's selfish in of its nature, because we're so focused about ourselves and our time and what we want. But with children, it's sacrifice, and you have to be able to, make time for them, put them first, which makes sense, obviously. And so, Lydia, if you're watching in the future, I love you, sweetheart. It's just, right now, this is a new journey as we're filming this.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying is totally relevant, because I've heard so many parents say that. They're like, I didn't know how selfish I was until I had kids.
Exactly. And here's kind of a breakdown of our life right now. So if I'm not with Gabby, I'm usually working or doing something, right? And when I come home, as a man, as a leader, I do like my resting time. Like, I like being able to sit down and just do whatever, like eat a snack or make some food and just chill, watch a video. I feel like maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I feel like a lot of that personal time isn't going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of, but see, selfish once again. And
Definitely.
So I really need the Lord to work on me in that.
Yeah, I'm going to hop in there, because I feel like for me it's very similar, like the thought that I was having. And I've expressed this to Dylan a little bit here and there. I know 100% that the timing of all this was the Lord's will. But sometimes I'm like, man, Lord, like... I'm like, man, Lord, I'm literally never going to be by myself again. Because times that I have away from Dylan, like, it's just me. But now it's never, ever, ever going to be just me. It's just going to be me and Lydia. And that's such a blessing. So I don't want to complain, because obviously complaining does not give glory to the Lord, and it's not healthy, and it puts your mind in the wrong perspective, and it's selfish. But there's definitely times that I do feel a little bit overwhelmed, knowing, like, as the mom, I'm obviously going to spend more time with her. Dylan's going to be involved, and we're thankful that we're living the way we're living for that reason, so he's not going to be gone all the time, like what unfortunately happens in a lot of families. But still, I'm going to be with her more often, and so there's not really going to I just sometimes worry of, like, man, am I ever going to have, like, anytime where I'm not with her, like ever,
Yeah.
because I definitely, I don't know.
I guess your biggest prayer is going to have to be, Lord, help me to see you in this. Like,
Yeah, like I know he's in it, but like the specific details of in every way of how he's in it.
just like how the Lord speaks to us through different things, Lord, speak to me through my child. So I think
Yeah.
that should be your biggest prayer. One of my biggest prayers would be that this really breaks me, like in a good way, not like the bad breaking. I remember a brother, like probably a year ago, maybe
That was
longer.
like 2 years ago.
I don't know how long it is, but he had a word that the Lord was going to break me. And I still don't understand the like whole concept of that. I don't even know if it's come to pass yet. But I would
You would know.
And then I heard another person give me some advice like months ago, and he said when he had a daughter, it really changed him and opened his eyes to a lot of things. And so I just really hope this is like the one thing that really like breaks my shell a bit in different areas. Like
I believe it. 100%.
especially having a daughter.
Yeah, I just believe that there's so many reasons of the Lord, and he's so intentional behind everything he does. But I do strongly believe one of the reasons that we're having a child at the timing we're having, because it wasn't planned by us, is for the reason of growing us and like breaking those areas and really revealing perspectives to us. Because obviously, as young believers and a young couple, there's a lot of perspectives that we currently have that probably aren't the best. And I think God's just going to remold those through this and really humble us through parenthood. And so, like, even the things we're saying, it's like, it's rooted in fear or selfishness. And obviously, like, something I'm trying to remind myself in this is, okay, it may feel overwhelming to think about, but we're not alone in this because, number one, obviously the Lord is our Father and he will help us, but we have people, we have community. And that's something that's refreshing of like, okay, I don't have to know everything myself. You know, I have people I can gain wisdom from. Because I feel like sometimes I can get overwhelmed stepping in new territory of like, where do you even start? Because there's so many different answers. And so I'm just thankful that like I can have people to pray through these things with, and like, just, it's not just me. Because it can feel that way of like, oh no, it's just me.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say in this. This is...
What other thoughts do you have about it? We're never going to be alone, Dylan. Come on.
What other thoughts? I mean...
Like, are you going to miss me? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm always around you now. I don't see how that part can change. I think you'll need me more.
What do you mean?
Well, it's going to take both of us, obviously. I think it's going to be interesting to see what our marriage looks like. Because I hear some very scary testimonies. Obviously, this is what's the word? A covenant. So it can't affect anything there. But we just gotta love each other through this new journey.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we stay in unity.
Yeah.
Because that's always the number one thing the enemy is attacking, even now.
The enemy hates marriage, so he definitely hates kids more, you know?
I don't know if he hates kids more than marriage.
I think he does. That's like the biggest target in this generation is targeting, you know, the children.
But if you get to the parents, you get to the children too.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we're going to take a 3-second pause while they go by. I agree with what you're saying. You know, there's so many times that people honestly divide with children. Not like, I'm not saying divorce or anything like that, but I'm just saying like spiritually. Because even we've been attacked throughout this whole pregnancy. A lot of it's our flesh, of course, but some of it's just been spiritual attack from obviously the enemy and his fiery darts. But I think honestly what's coming to my mind even right now is like making sure that we spend devoted time with one another, with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that means we both wake up an hour earlier, that we like pray together, I feel like that's going to be so crucial in this next step of parenthood. Because we're going to be dying a lot to our flesh.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to need that time together with the Lord.
So many different ways we're going to die to our flesh.
Because I just feel like if we're only doing that separately, then there's going to be a lack of unity. And that's just what comes to my mind. It's like prioritizing that.
I agree. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what else to say. I'm sitting, as she talks, I try to think of certain things. This is one of those things where it's just unplanned, which is why, speaking of our video that we're eventually going to put together, the full video, God's birth plan. We titled it that really because He's the one in control of all of this. We haven't planned anything in of our own ability. And I think it's going to be the same thing when we return. I believe He's going to download so much into us, like not just content-wise, but maybe we look different when we come back. Like,
Dylan's gonna come back with new hair. I agree with what you're saying.
you can tell when the Lord does something in somebody and they just look different. There's something different about that person. And
yeah, I fully believe like we're gonna be different people. Just like when we got married, things changed for each one of us. Like we're not the same as we were single, and we're definitely not gonna be the same as we become parents. I feel like it's one of those things too. It's like this whole video we can't even really give an answer to because we don't know until we're truly walking in it, and God could do so many different things through that. But I feel like right as we enter parenthood, it's going to be like we're not really going to remember what life was like before. I think it's going to become our normal, and that's a good thing.
so, to end this video, we're going to ask that you guys feel free to comment any questions about the pregnancy, about marriage, anything, just anything that comes to mind. That way we can continue to just answer questions in the comments, since we won't be having any content come out for a while. And as I mentioned on social media, we'll do small little updates like, hey, delivery went great, and stuff like that, but we won't be having content all of October. So anyways, this is where we
It's
say
your last chance. I'm just kidding.
this is where we say we love you guys. We appreciate all the support on this journey, and the biggest thing we ask is just pray for us.
Prayer.
Thank you. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and we will see you in the next one.
Perfect timing.